Stop choosing between those tiny little mechanical keyboards and those absolute office bricks. You don't need them. This is the C98 keyboard from Royal Kludge, and it's the solution to the 96% keyboard you didn't realize you had. It's compact, it's mechanical, and it might possibly be the last keyboard you get for your desk. So let's get into it. So guys, like I said, what we're doing is looking at the arcade, the Royal Kludge. This is the C98 magnetic mechanical keyboard. I've been quite looking forward to this because most of the keyboards I've reviewed have been like switches. I haven't really reviewed magnetic ones, so it's going to be interesting. So this is what we get inside the box. We've got the keyboard, we've got a keycap removal tool, as well as a switch removals. We do get 4 extra magnetic switches, quite nice. Little user manual, and then we do get USB Type A to USB Type C, which, yeah, it's quite nice. Pop that to one side, pop that on the one side. The keyboard, I'm liking the colour scheme, though, they've got on. They've got more of a, I want to say if it's more of a grey-green, then we've got the browny red going on, as well as the white. Oh, we've got a little access knob going on here, which is quite nice. But I like the design overall. So we do have the flush keycaps as well as magnetic switches. I'm going to pop one of these out now just to see roughly what they look like. Like I said, I have not reviewed a keyboard as of yet that has magnetic switches. So this is quite a nice little change for me. You'd think they'd come out a bit easier. There we go. My bad. It was just me being stupid. So on these switches themselves, we do have the 2 pins either side, but they're just plastic pins. And then obviously we've got the face itself, which is magnetic to the PCB. Like I said, I'm not massively familiar with these sort of switches. When we go into the specifications, I'll explain more about them. But this is the first time reviewing one, so this should be an interesting video. I suppose on the plus side, at least when it comes to magnetic switches, when you're actually putting them into the PCB, you don't need to worry about bending those little brass pins. So I guess it's a win-win all round. Not bad. So keyboard itself, very nice, very tactile. So it is a 98% keyboard. We do have the full number pad as well as page up and down through center. So we don't have the full 100%, but 98% is roughly where I like it. I do prefer the bigger keyboards. We do have the control knob, which is quite nice. Obviously, nice little gear ratio going on there, as well as a nice little click button there, which I do like. White accent going on there, but they've kind of embezzled it a bit to show off a bit more of the grey-brown colour, which is quite nice. Now on the back, they have put metal plate there, just explaining it is the RK-C98. So the standoffs, we've got 4 rubber pads on the side, so if you want to use this on a flat surface, it's not going to start sliding all over the place. But we do have 2 levels of adjustments, probably got, what, 1/2 inch and inch? Yeah, probably about 1/2 inch to 1 inch. So you do have full maneuverability depending how high you want the keyboard to actually sit. I like mine quite high, so that's just personal preference. But anyways, let's get into some specifications and see what this sounds like. Now, when it comes to the Royal Kludge C98 review, I was really excited about this. So, first impressions, it's heavy. It rocks in at about 1.2 kilos and it feels incredibly planted on the desk. Now, this is a 96% layout, so you do get the full number pad and dedicated volume knob, but it is in a much smaller footprint than a traditional full-size keyboard. Now, the HE that I said about this keyboard does stand for Hall effects. Now, unlike standard switches that rely on metal leaves touching, these use magnets to detect key presses. This allows for adjustable actuation. You can set the WASD keys for hair triggers at 0.1mm for gaming. Now, what is my favorite thing? The driver is web-based. You don't have to install sketchy software that stays open in your tray. You don't have to worry about downloading all these different softwares just for a keyboard. It's just plug it in, open the browser, you can customize your RGB, your rapid trigger sensitivity, and you can even set up your dynamic keystrokes, where a half press does one action and a full press does another, so you have full customizability with this keyboard without having all those extra software that you have to download to your PC. Now let's talk a little bit about the wins and the compromises. Getting an 8K polling rate at a Hall Effects at this price point is a pretty insane value. Check the links in the video description. And the build. The triple layer dampering makes it feel and sound like a custom board. I feel like I built it myself. It's a premium keyboard. Feels nice, sounds nice, looks nice, and it's even got those hidden little RGB lights that really do look incredible. Now, the one thing I prefer rather than some other people don't like it is the little volume directional knob. So it's dedicated volume control always wins. Now I'm forever messing around with my Stream Deck and volume settings, and having it on my keyboard, it's a win for me. For you guys it might not be, for some people it might be. I guess it's a 50-50. Now the compromises. These aren't bad compromises, they're just maybe some people will like them, some people will dislike them. It is a wired only keyboard. If you're looking for a wireless setup, this probably isn't for you. But the AK Tech does require a wire, and it's a small little factor to pay a faster keyboard, I guess. The plastic case. It's high quality plastic, but it's not aluminum. Now this isn't a bad thing. Not everybody likes aluminum keyboards, not everybody likes plastic keyboards, and again, it's more of a personal preference. The proprietary switches. You can only swap these out for RK compatible magnetic switches. Now that may seem like a bad thing to someone that's used to mechanical keys or switches, but it's really not. You're going from normal switches to Hall effect switches. Now I'm new to the whole magnetic switches on keyboards, and trust me, I won't be going back because they are incredible. So what we need to do is find the software so we can control our keyboard. So if we go over the software, and all we need to do is search for our keyboard. Like I said, we are working with the C98 keyboard, so that's the one we're going to be looking for. But as you can see, Royal Kludge do a massive selection of keyboards. There we go, C98. So we have manual, the arcade launcher, as well as another launcher in various languages. We're just going to go for the US layout. Get that loaded up. Don't worry, you're not going to have to download anything. It is all web-based. So from this point, select device. Mine's the C98. Connect. And this is all you have to do. There is no downloading. You don't have to swap out software and all that rubbish. You don't have to do anything. So from here, we have the RK-C98 and the full layout of the product. So on the left-hand side, we have home page, key settings, performance settings, advanced keys, macro manager, as well as lighting mode. So if we go to the key settings, just to start off with, we do have several profiles. So you can set this up for one being a gaming setup, one being for writing, one for just daily drivers or whatever, or even one for Windows, one for Mac. We can set up different profiles. So we can do all that as well, or we can go through the function. So we can see in the top, it's got like my computer, www, email, and we can set different functions for the actual keyboard, but we're just going to keep it basic. So if we go over the performance settings, down here on the left-hand side, we do have normal mode. So this is global triggers and single key triggers. So this is going to allow us to set the depth. So effective for keys without single key triggering and RT trigger. Travel distance won't be disturbed. So over here, you've got travel distance, and then obviously we've got from 0 mil to 4 mil RT mode. So this is going to allow us to change the initial actuation point. So that's the point where you press the key and it activates. Initial actuation point, effective for selected key. And then we also have dynamic reset travel as well. Then again, for you guys out there that are very much into reconfiguring keyboards, this is going to be right down your alley. Advanced settings, this is going to allow us to set the dead zone as well as the pulling rate. Like I said, I've currently got set to 8,000 or 8 kilohertz, and then you can set it down all the way to 125 hertz. It all depends on what you're doing. So dead zone is a global setting to prevent false triggers or missed inputs. So currently mine's set to 0, but like I said, it's here. The dead zone is set to 0.2 mil. And obviously you can set the dead zone to whatever you want, obviously from 0 to 1, which is quite handy if that's something you want to do. You can set it to all your keys, and then for your WASD keys, you can probably just set that to next to nothing. So when you do press it, it's there straight away. Now, the calibration, which is one of my favorite features, I do recommend if you are going to get a magnetic keyboard, you calibrate it straight away. So if I click on Start Calibration and start tapping on keys, you'll see that they calibrate all the way to 3.5 mil. Now, the handy thing is, if you calibrate your keyboard and I know, like one of your keys only reaches to say 2.5 mil, or it fluctuates between what you're trying to press, it could mean that you have an issue with your switch and then you just have to swap it out. But luckily, Royal Kludge do give you 4 or 5 extra switches inside the product, so you're all good to go. Advanced keys, again, we can set this for 4 different profiles, but this is going to allow us to advanced key typeset on a pop-up page. Then enter the setting for specifics. So if you want to change, I don't know, the tab key to do something else. So we've got DKS, MT, TGL, MPT, END, SOCD, and macro. So we do have full maneuverability and accessibility to change these keys to do whatever function you want. And again, you can set them for different profiles, so you don't have to keep swapping and changing. You can set them per profile. Now, Macro Manager. Macro Manager is going to allow us to change every individual key that we want. So if we go over keyboard, and now we go to tab, click on insert, and then on the right hand side here we can see that macro is being recorded. So as I press the tab, there's going to be a delay of 30, and as I release the tab, there's going to be a delay of 30 as well. So you can record a delay, default a delay, or you can fix a delay, and you can do all that from here. You can save it, remove it, or on the left hand side you can add or import your own as well. And of course, they didn't forget about the lighting modes. You have a ton of different lighting modes that you can set for this, or you can just go over the static and actually set your own colors. It all depends on you. And we can change the brightness, the speed, as well as sleep time, and then also the directional challenge. So the one thing to remember is that there is no downloading. It literally is plug and play. You put your keyboard in and you are all good to go. So guys, that was the review regarding the Royal Kludge C98. C98, I always get that wrong. C98. It's the first time I've actually reviewed a fully mechanical keyboard that has magnetic switches. I've never had any experience with them, to be honest with you. All the keyboards I've ever done have got like removable switches with the little pins and all that sort of stuff. I didn't realize how sensitive a keyboard like this could possibly be, where it's literally where I'm fabrically tapping the key and it's activating. But the one thing I was really happy with was the way they did their software. So there was no having to download anything. I just have to go to the web browser, and it's all based on a web browser plugin, which I was really happy with. Because a lot of people, when they buy peripherals, they don't like downloading external software. So that was a massive thumbs up for me. Apart from the fact, it looks stunning. Like, you can be the vote of that. It looks stunning, it feels amazing, and it really is a premium product for a not premium price. It's actually really reasonable. So if you want to go check one out for yourself, please do check the links in the video description. But by all means, if you've got one, you've got any issue, drop it down in the comment section. But by all means, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. I'll catch you in the next video.